Hello, Stephan here with Liquidity, with a video about the almost magic German word da. Very, very commonly used, a little bit difficult to translate. I will explain. Liquidity. No, the word da does not mean yes as the Russian word da. It actually has several meanings that kind of blend, kind of melt together. If you ask a random native speaker of German to translate and to explain the little word da, they will probably say, it kind of means there, but they will probably scratch their head if you ask them to categorize it and also to give a simple translation of it, because it depends on the context and it means more than just there or here. Germans heavily depend on their internal grammar when they use the little word da, because it has several meanings, several connotations built in, even though it's such a little word, right? What a pesky little word it is. Maybe the best way to familiarize English speakers with the meaning of the word da is to talk about the English expression ta-da, as in ta-da, I made you a peach pie, as in presenting something, as in drawing your attention to something that is happening at a certain place at a certain time. There it is. I think it is also closely related somehow, at least in feel, to the French word la, as in voila, there it is. So it has that almost magic feel of something being conjured up. It's not magically conjured up necessarily, but conjured up in the sense of being brought about, being brought into existence, being presented. There it is. Then and there. In a way, da describes setting and context more than anything else. In that sense, it can be translated, depending on the context, depending on how it is used, with words like there, here, then, even causal words like because or the causal since can be used to translate it, depending on the circumstances, depending on how it is used. So it has that setting and context feel to it, function to it. Let's look at a couple of sentences that are very similar to see what the word da contributes to the meaning. So here's the most simple sentence. Es gibt viele Autos. There are many cars. If I add the little word da to that, if I say da gibt es viele Autos, the little word da means as much as there, but it can also mean then. It can actually mean both of those bunched together. The use of the present tense in this context also implies that this is here and now, or there and now. Let's look at a past tense example. Da gab es viele Autos. So this would be translated most likely as there used to be many cars. There were many cars, or there used to be many cars. So even if we use the English construction used to, we're kind of implying a setting, right? Not only a time setting, but also a place setting. And that's kind of included in here. So I'm meaning in a certain historical context or a certain time and place context, this is when there were many cars. Let's use future tense. Da wird es viele Autos geben. There will be many cars. There and then there will be many cars. So depending on the context, it can just mean there, but it can also, with the future tense used here, imply a very specific place, not only in location, but also in time. So you can see that da is kind of used to describe the space-time continuum in a way. I can use the little word da very much like there, here you go. If I say, for instance, da. Ein Bleistift für dich. That means as much as here you go. Here's your pencil that you asked for, or that you need, whatever the situation may be. So da can be used by itself. It's not the super most polite way of expressing that, but it means as much as here you go, da. Ist sie schon da? Is she here already, or has she already arrived? Has she arrived? Again, we have the idea of a place, but also a time, like at what point of the immediate future or present in relationship to the future will I see this person appear? Ich bin da means as much as I'm here. Whereas if I say da bin ich, with the word da in the beginning, kind of emphasizing, I would say, here I am, there I go. There's a really biting and I think good satire that's called ist wieder da, that kind of poses the question, what would happen if Adolf Hitler came back, magically reappeared today? How would people react to him? Maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but basically it means he's back, or look who's back. That's the English translation that they use. How about this sentence? Da ist was los. That also implies time and place. Something's going on. Something's going on not just at any time, at any place, but right now. Da ist was los. There's also another expression, da ist der Teufel los. There and then the devil is loose, meaning not literally the devil, but there's just a lot of noise and things going on, things that might be a little bit uncomfortable to a lot of people. Next example, da war es heiß. Then and there it was hot. So again, it's not just a place, but it's also a time. Da war es heiß. There and then at that place that I'm referring to, it was hot. The weather was hot. How about this sentence here? Da wurde ich traurig. So at that particular time and place, I became sad. Then I became sad. So here you have a little bit of that causal implication. So something must have happened at that time and place that contributed to my sadness. Okay, let's look at an example that has a clear causal use of da. Wir bleiben zu Hause, da es den ganzen Tag regnet. We're staying home because, or since, it is raining all day. So in this case, as a coordinating conjunction, da means as much as because or since in the causal sense. But again, we have that implication of time and place, right? So something is happening at a certain point in that space-time continuum that causes us to act in a certain way. And just for fun, let's look at a sentence that has several das in it, used for different purposes. Ich bin schon da ich schnell bin. That means as much as I have already arrived there at that place because I'm fast. Because da is very commonly used with the verb sein, to be. In fact, a very important philosophical concept in German philosophical history or background is a combination of da and sein. And it's actually a nominalization of da and sein, and it's a noun that's called Dasein, das Dasein. And it means really existence. It doesn't mean like to be there, but existence. The whole concept of existence. So existentialism kind of feeds into that, or is related to that, is connected to that. But it's hard to translate exactly into English just because the word da has that loaded meaning of setting, right? In context. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Thanks for watching. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Take care. Mach's gut.